Hello everyone and welcome to Galaxy 89 Cars. Today I'm bringing an in-depth tour of a 2016 Porsche 991 GT3 RS, which at the time of publishing is for sale at Superfutura. The RS can be ordered in one of four colours, with this model in the aptly named Ultraviolet. It is 4,545mm long, 1880mm wide, 1,291mm high, and has an unladen weight of 1,495 kilograms. The RS is being built to limited numbers, somewhere in the single thousands, which partly reflects its high resale value. The rear-engined rear-wheel drive RS has a 4-litre flat 6 that produces 493 brake horsepower and 460 Nm of torque. This output produces a 0 to 62 mph or 100 km/h time of 3.3 seconds and a top speed of 193 mph with a daily drive MPG in the low 20s. The valve-controlled dual-exit exhaust exits from the centre of the rear. The RS features satin black, multi-spoke 20-inch alloy wheels at the front and 21-inch dished alloys at the rear. These are wrapped in track-ready Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres. This car has been specced with the optional carbon ceramic brakes, signified by the yellow calipers, and PCCB inside. The front starts with open grilles, with day running lights on the top. Above are adaptive bi-xenon headlights that feature an LED halo. The RS exhibits extreme weight saving, where even the badges have been removed for stickers. And the wipers don't have supporting struts. The vents along the wheel arches aren't for simple affectation alone, they are functionally designed to decrease pressure within the wheel arch, resulting in smoother and easier direction changes. The fuel filler cap is to the right of this model. Moving along the car, we find sport design wing mirrors with gloss black undersides. And below, the sweeping door handles nod towards the keyless entry system. Behind, bulging wheel arches are introduced by air vents that feed cool air into the rear-mounted straight six. Rear-wheel steer and Porsche torque vectoring, where, respectively, the rear wheels turn with or against the front wheels and can have independent levels of torque fed to each, enables the GT3 RS to have such prowess in the corners. The car produces 330 kg of downforce at top speed thanks to the huge rear spoiler that produces 250 kg alone, as well as the front splitter and body profile with front to back sweeping lines. A black plastic set of vents helps the engine release hot air and maximise weight saving. Further down, the rear lights have been specced with clear glass. And more stickers replacing badges. The key is typical Porsche and has been colour matched. It features buttons for the front boot as well as for lock and unlock. The door handles pull out in the traditional outward motion, and the door itself can be pulled out quite far. Despite being quite low, it's easy to enter and exit. It also has an illuminated carbon seal. It is based on the basic 911 profile after all. The interior is upholstered in black Alcantara and leather, with white contrast stitching and gloss carbon inlays. The doors can be closed and opened using the pull strap. As with all of my videos, I will take you on a short POV tour of the interior before going into more detail. The doors are upholstered in leather and Alcantara and feature a small armrest with the white pull tab above. It is simply pulled out to open the doors. Below are controls for the electric windows and exterior mirrors. At the bottom of the door there is quite a lot of storage, as the rear compartment pulls out. In the driver's side footwell, to the right, is the parking brake, and moving up, the exterior light controls and the first of 4 air vents. The basic but perfectly functional steering wheel is upholstered in Alcantara, with the racing yellow marker at 12 o'clock. The driver's dials have been spec'd in white in this model. The key actually needs to be inserted into its port to the right of the wheel, as there is no keyless go. From left to right the dials are for oil pressure and temp, speedo, rev counter with digital speed, the digital trip screen, and water and fuel. The trip screen provides options for vehicle information, radio media, phone, navigation, the trip itself, which has 3 submenus, since, total and to destination, tyre pressure management, the sport chrono information, a G-force meter and a performance chart, which can display both torque and power. There is also information for the vehicle lift settings. The central sport chrono display has also been spec'd in white. The central screen is touchscreen, but also has direct menu buttons below that can be used to jump to the DAB digital radio, media, phone with both pick-up and hang-up buttons, navigation and map, with additional controls below for media source with scroll wheels, car information, which includes personal trip info. Below are buttons for the ventilation and air conditioning. Like the GT3, the 991 RS is only available with a 7-speed dual-clutch PDK box, which disappointed many. It's possible to leave the car in auto mode, or sequentially shift using the gear selector or paddles behind the wheel. The button array behind provides controls for, on the left, the hazard lights, sport mode, the Porsche active suspension management, ESC and traction control. On the right, the internal lock, sports exhaust, the vehicle lift and pit speed, which can be manually adjusted to limit the available speed. The interior has been crafted with elements of the 918. This RS has the optional 918 bucket seats, with both guards red 6-point harnesses and racing yellow conventional belts. The harness is simply undone by turning the lever either way. They feature small leather pull tabs behind that are used to bring the seats forward to access the rear, or marvel at the glistening gloss carbon fibre. Tilt can't be adjusted as these seats are buckets, but the seats can be brought back and forth using the mechanism underneath. to interior storage. There is a small compartment in the central column surrounded by gloss carbon, and behind, another area that can be opened by depressing the button at the rear. Behind, there is another small compartment and potential for storage in the rear. Two cup holders can be found above the passenger side glove compartment. To gain entry to the front or rear compartments, simply access the button on the driver's side and pull up. The front boot has an official capacity of 125 litres. Once released, the front bonnet's carbon composition can be seen. Back to the interior. There is a small optional fire extinguisher in the passenger side for when things don't go to plan. Above, the driver and passenger have illuminated vanity mirrors with reading lights. So that concludes my tour of this 2016 Porsche 991 GT3 RS. At the time of publishing, this car is currently for sale at Superfutura. Links to their website can be found in the description. Please subscribe for the latest content, and until next time, cheers.